We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How did not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It's a Mailbag Monday, and it's a special Mailbag Monday because all of our mail was delivered by Santa Ben. As far as I'm concerned, I don't even know 100% exactly what's going on, but we are going to answer the mail. I think they're letters that were sent to Santa in general about professional wrestling. We must have a direct link to the big guy, Mr. Kringle. But let me introduce my co-host for this afternoon, evening, morning, depends on where you are geographically. I'm going to send this one out to the DMV. Yes, I'm wearing a James Madison sweatshirt. I promised I would. They were absolutely delightful hosts this weekend. I was at the game, Oregon and JMU, both schools. Couldn't have been more fun. Monster shout out to my buddy Casey. We had the time of our lives. What an excellent trip. But once again, sending this to the DMV because I know he's going to give me some Virginia stuff since I'm wearing the JMU gear. Get your twos up for the Tuesday Night Lights, Shoddy.
Yeah, first and foremost, since you said that, I got to just touch base on that. James Madison is not the DMV. They are not metro accessible. They are nowhere near Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia is the only part of Virginia that does matter. So let's get that out the way. Obviously, super cool to see somebody not from Virginia wearing Virginia adjacent clothes on this podcast, and it's not being me. Maybe I failed to stay. I don't know, but I'm glad to be here. It's your boy Shot Talk Scraps, and I am back with another installment of the most egregious title ever. Ben Allison, Santa's what? Have I been not?
Yeah, mail sack was aggressive and then not.
What does
nice.
Not mean?
I think he meant naughty, but
I know he meant naughty, but it's just not.
Yeah, have I been not or nice? That's my best effort at the accent.
Man, crazy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so obviously we have to press a lot of buttons and figure out what we're doing here. There's a potential for Angie to join us at some point during the show. We hope all's well. If not, though, me and Shot are holding it down here, my friends. So
we were promised by Ben Allison that this is going to be one of the most entertaining shows he has ever culminated. We don't know the topics.
Yeah, it's a mystery to us.
So yeah, you guys are gonna get to know the topics as we get to know the topics. You want to just kick it off? Number one.
Let's jump out of the gates. Let's see what we got. What has been done for us?
All right. Letter number one.
Ho, ho, ho! From the North Pole, wrestling fans, I'm Santa Claus! And unfortunately, this year I've been watching simply too much great content at Wrestling Republic that I forgot to look through my mail sack! Oh no! So instead, in today's video, you guys are going to have to look through some of them for me and decide whether these people are on the naughty list or the nice list! Ho, ho, ho! Will you make what they want happen or not? You decide. Have a jolly good time. Ho, ho, ho. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for the Wrestling Republic Christmas special. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, as you can see, Santa Claus is definitely slimmed down a little bit.
Yep.
You want to go ahead and read the first letter, Clark?
Yeah. This has been a really big year for weight loss for Santa, but this is the first letter to Mr. Kringle here. It's Dear Santa, this year I have been very good. All I want for Christmas is LA Knight to win the Royal Rumble and then go on to win the WWE title at WrestleMania. And this one's from our good friend Blake. Yeah, I mean, pretty fascinating. We have
so this is a crazy ask because you are asking Ben Claus in this situation if LA Knight is going to win the Royal Rumble. I guess we got to break it down like this. Do you think LA Knight is going to win the Royal Rumble this coming year, which is next year technically, but next month?
I mean, here's my opinion on this, and I'm not just trying to be that guy. It is what it is because I love LA Knight, and I can't stand when Benta Claus gets after his age. I just think it's unfair. But I do monster shout out to Ben Kringle there behind the scenes. At the end of the day, though, the only odds of this wish being granted by Mr. Claus, by Saint Nick, is if the Royal Rumble happened on December 25th, because that is just not going to happen going into next year. I love wanting it to happen. LA Knight would have to like turn it up in a way in the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks that made it make sense. I think, with the Rumble being 30 people, we'll talk about him potentially winning. I just don't see him as a favorite, and I really don't see the booking leading to a long shot win. Shad, that's where I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, if this was on Christmas, I think Santa might be into that. And don't get me wrong, I'm just the messenger for the big guy. I'm not obviously Santa himself.
The little guy here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the little guy. Congrats on the weight loss, by the way. I mean, that's
on the weight loss.
That is huge.
Glad that you finally knew how to grow a beard. Actually,
yeah, it's amazing.
Okay. There is a absolute the likelihood of LA Knight winning the Royal Rumble is the same likelihood that a kid who's been misbehaving all year is going to get a PS5. It's just not going to happen. Santa Claus giving out coal. To me, LA Knight is giving out big hot L's because to me, they have already filled his spot in this position on the main roster in the WWE. And that is a top tier mid-card guy, potentially can rival for the main event title, but not just yet to be the main event guy. And when you talk about the Royal Rumble, it's 9 times out of 10 going to be someone who is a budding star that is going to win it and it is going to make them, or it's going to be someone that's going to sell you a ticket for a WrestleMania match. Obviously, last year we saw Jey Uso cover both bases with that. I don't know if LA Knight is at that level yet. I do think he is and this isn't me putting it on his age either. It's just I'm basing it off how the company views him. And I don't see him. I think he's got the potential to be that. I think he's an incredible talker. He's a merch mover. And he has shown that he can do storylines well enough. And I think he's an underrated in-ring competitor. But to me, he's like in that island where I saw Mr. Kennedy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like Zack Ryder. Like, I don't know if they see him in that same realm as a main event guy. Like, he's just a really strong mid-card guy that is ample for a TV time, going to give you the reaction. But I don't know.
1,000%. I think you have that spot on too, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. And I don't want to be too much of a realist because, right, like in a perfect world, I think he's got all of the tools to be a Rumble not only contender but potential winner as well.
Should he win the title at Mania at that?
Yeah, and that's the 2-part equation part of this. And I just think he would have to catch lightning in the bottle for both, even one of the two things to happen.
Yeah,
in the next month, right? LA Knight's got to just catch absolute fire, do or say something. I mean, like whatever it is that his name, it would take a mountain of fan reaction, I think, to get all the way there. But before we open up letter 2, Shad, we do have our third co-host in the building. It's an all Virginia show. I'm wearing my James Madison sweatshirt, even though I'm out here on the West Coast today. I'm just saying, right? It's an all Virginia show. We've got Angie. How are you? Happy holidays and everything, Angie. How's
Happy holidays, guys. I'm so sorry. I ended up having a last minute accident. Let's put it that way. it's a long story, and trust me, no one wants the details of that. It's kind of gross. Anyways, I am so happy to be here. As you can see, I'm already in the holiday spirit. Decided to go with a little bit of green, and also my comfy hoodie that I also got as an early birthday present because, drum roll please, the 17th was my birthday.
Woo! Well, and by
I
the
am
way,
now 32, and I can't
happy-
believe we've gotten this far.
happy belated, no doubt, Angie, and we're
You're
so
still the
glad you're
youngest
here.
in this group. Don't worry. You're
You
the
are,
youngest
yeah.
of all.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
still funny to me.
I'm not even going to say my age on this show. That's not for public consumption, at least not right now. But let's get into, so format wise, Santa Benny Claus, Ben Kringle, whatever you'd like to call him, Saint Ben Nick is gonna let us know what the letter was from or to Santa that we need to answer. We just got through letter 1, but Shadi, you want to show us letter 2?
Yes, letter 2. Dear Santa, look, Santa, I'm going to keep it real with you. I've not had a good end to the year so far for Christmas, and all I want is for Edge and Christian to be retired by the Young Bucks at All In London in 2026. Signed by, I'm assuming, a Brit named Ricky.
Well, Ricky, it seems a bit early out of the gates there. Okay, I would love to have the match, the Bucks against Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian, whatever you want to, however we're going to do this, Adam Copeland and Christian. I would enjoy that match and that rivalry. We're trying to retire a bunch of names these days. I feel like it's become a trend because we saw a bunch of big ones this year. I don't know how close to being done either Edge or Christian are. And you know what I don't want to see is a co-retirement. Because if one's not done and the other is, and they do this, they execute it where the Young Bucks retire both. And one decides, wait, I'm not really all the way done.
We're gonna make does that make the Young Bucks Gunther of AEW?
Yeah, it would just ruin it so quickly. I can't, in good faith, I don't see that happening in 2026. Now, if it got to a scenario where both Edge and Christian were talking about retiring at once and they're all in, and we don't see people like John Cena attitude wise often, right? So that's a rarity when it comes to like, it's definitive, I'm doing that, right? Like most people, generally speaking, are going to operate keeping their options open, at least in my eyes, right? You're going to keep your options open unless you're for sure not hanging around. For me, it would have to be years later. That's my problem with this one in general. But Angie, I want to get your thoughts. Could you see a possibility of in 2026? Because it looks like AJ Styles is retiring in 2026 in the WWE as well. There's a potential for Chris Jericho. There's a potential for a lot more retirements. There's this sort of retirement trend and this narrative going around about pushing, youthful talent in general and what's the next generation going to look like and all of that. Do you see a possibility where the Young Bucks maybe do retire Edge and Christian?
Well, honestly, I feel like it would be a bit of an injustice to have it to where, because he's on a different promotion, it's kind of weird to call him Edge now, but they've done so much as single competitors that retiring them as a unit, like retiring them as a tag team, kind of feels a little weird because they've done so much outside of it. It's kind of the same feeling as I felt with the Dudleys retiring the way that they did. But don't get me wrong, love the match for it. It was a wonderful chance for that. But at the same time, like I mentioned before, it's like with Edge and Christian, like you had a chance to see them in their singular runs where it's like I don't want to see them retire as a tag team like this. Now, if it was 1-by-1, perfectly fine. But like, I don't know. I guess they're trying to retire them the way that they really took off, which was as a tag team. But I don't know.
You brought up some like really, really interesting and great points, and one that I want to talk about there too is you're talking about the singles runs, right?
Mhm.
And Edge and Christian singles wise, they always are going to be in the same category, tag team wrestling discussions, as the Dudleys, as you mentioned, and the Hardys, right?
Right.
Singles, though, they're arguably the two most successful. Maybe you throw Jeff in that mix, right?
No, those two
Yeah.
are the most successful
That's
solo
what I'm
careers
saying, right?
outside of their tag careers for sure.
And so I do feel like
Right.
they're in like a separate category from the other two. And the unique thing is, you've got also kayfabe brothers in the Dudleys, which I get. And Bubba had his singles run, but he had it as bully in TNA. I think that is a little bit different. For the Hardys, Jeff has always been sort of the star, but they're real life brothers.
Yeah.
And I think that, and so there's a comment here where it's Matt and Jeff are retiring together and they've done a lot separately. Well, I agree with that. I think the difference is they're real life brothers. Like they're actually related.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Edge and Christian, as much as they've been tied together, I don't think either one of their careers is defined by their tag run. And that's what almost makes them so impressive as a tag team from a historical standpoint.
I may prefer them as individual stars more than the tag team.
Yeah.
I'll be completely honest with you. Why are we retiring Christian Cage so quickly? Christian Cage is one of the top heels in AEW. He is needed to the highest degree, and he is doing arguably some of his best work in decade plus in AEW. So no, I do not want them to retire because I do not want Christian Cage to retire. Adam Copeland, I can cope through that. I don't mind if Edge Cope wants to retire. That's fine. He has endured obviously a lot of injuries to his body. He was retired for a while. He told WWE he was retired, but Edge clearly is at the end of his career. He's looking at it like that. I don't know if Christian is ready to retire. He's never publicly said that. And also, like, he's got like a rejuvenated career now. It's like a player that just switched positions from safety to linebacker, or from interior edge to interior defensive lineman, and they just tacked on an extra 5 years because they're ultra productive again. Let Christian be who he is. Let's not retire them just because Cope is going to retire. That's not what needs to happen.
Absolutely. I'm with you. And it's interesting because you brought up a lot of really related even to the comment section points so I want to read a couple really quick from we've got, I don't remember the Dudleys doing anything of note in their singles career that was worth talking about. Aces and Eights, the Bully Ray run in TNA was a huge deal. Devon didn't necessarily have that sort of single success that Bully did. I don't know that that necessarily mattered as much when it comes to the discussions about those two. And then he added as well, Christian has also had a lot of injuries. Remember, he took 7-year hiatus due to concussion protocol. So did Edge. But here's another thing that I would say. Now that they're both cleared and healthy, they didn't put 7 years of miles on their bodies the way that the Dudleys did. Right. So now that they spent the time recovering from the injury, but they also weren't continuing to be beat up. And that's a factor that a lot of people don't mention when it comes to athletes. Right. If you look at like an Antonio Gates and his longevity as a tight end, I think the most telling thing he said, maybe the luckiest part is I didn't have to take any hits really in high school and college because he played basketball. And then he became a football player. And in the NFL, with an adult body, he was able to play longer than most tight ends can. And it's one of the most interesting things I've ever heard. I think that's the way that I would go about this, because Christian looks like he's in as good a shape as he's ever been. Yeah. He doesn't look hurt. He's not limping around. It's not like, oh, he's a step slower, right? Like it's just not in my eyes, at least, that's not the story when it comes to Christian. We have got the Atomic Merp in the building with
Mary.
Of course, not everyone needs to retire. Yeah, that's Mary. That's like our best friend. We love Mary. Everyone does. And then she also said, "We out here at the nail salon." Monster shout
How
out.
are you typing in the
Hey.
comments? Salon, Mary.
That's where it's got to be
Well,
toenails.
she
at this
might be
point.
doing a pedicure.
That's it.
You can still type while you're getting your toes done.
There we go, Angie. Let's go to the expert on that one.
Exactly. Like you can still type while you're getting a pedicure. And quite frankly,
You're right.
Gosh, I am overdue for that.
Absolutely. And we've
Zach
got
Licker is finally back.
National Cookie Exchange Day. That's what's up.
Yay!
Give
I
your
love
friends
cookies.
cookies today. No doubt about it. But Shadi, let's open up letter number 3.
All right. Let me open up the bag. And this letter is. Hold up. Sorry. Can you see it? Okay.
I was muted. Yes, I can.
Like, my joint froze on me.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Dear Santa, all I want for Christmas is for Tony Khan to sell AEW to WWE so that we can get to see Kenny Omega versus AJ Styles, Cody versus MJF again, and Monet versus Io Sky. It would be the best WrestleMania ever. From Ethan. Ethan Page.
That's what I was about to say. Like, Ethan Page, what are you doing here?
Why are you writing to Santa?
This is I'm sorry. That's what you asked Santa Claus for?
Dude.
Please, no. We don't need ECW all over again.
It's a shorter route mail-wise from Canada to North Pole, but like what?
Dear Santa
Sell the company?
Please have a Monopoly, because that's my favorite board game.
I think Pepsi should sell to Coke too, so that they can tag team Super Bowl commercials. Like what? What in the wide world of sports are we talking about here? That just made me mad. I mean, I'm not Santa, just a messenger for the big guy. But there's no way in the wide world of professional wrestling that AEW is being sold to WWE anytime soon. The company will go under. They're a challenger brand. The company will go under before you see that in your lifetime. And it's not going to be, we all get along. They're a challenger brand. And yes, they're a privately owned company versus a publicly traded company. And that's the scoop. It's different. It's corporation, all this, that, and the other, the whole kit and caboodle. But if AEW sells to WWE, a lot of this goes away. I'm not saying like us or talking about wrestling, but a lot of this boom we've had in the last 10 years in professional wrestling, whether it was the indie renaissance again, AEW's formation, whether you like it or not, they at least push WWE enough to push the envelope. It would be an absolute nightmare to pull the plug on AEW in 2026. I mean, just help me out here. I can't. I'm going to get madder if I keep talking about it.
Yeah. No disrespect to Ethan, who wrote this asinine request from Santa Claus. You could have asked for a new television, a computer, world peace, resolving world hunger, whatever it may be, but you asked for this nonsense. This is arguably one of the worst things that can happen for professional wrestling, because when WWE doesn't have competition, WWE becomes stagnant. The product becomes stale. We are seeing a bit of it happen in real time this year, ladies and gentlemen, because after 2024, they are on their high horse. They were at the top of the game. They had a successful Mania 40. Cody finished his story. They were able to get all these partnerships and stuff like that. Well, what's happened after they got the partnerships? What's happened after Netflix came through? What happened after they got the ESPN deal? It's been one of their weaker years in some time now where the product has suffered. Now, if you go to this forefront and where they just completely absorb AEW and they become WWE with WCW, like kind of like when they got WCW, right? When they got all those guys, it might be fun for a little bit, but it's going to run its course and it's going to become bad. We need companies like AEW. AEW is a very important promotion in the history of professional wrestling. I know it doesn't feel like that because we're in it in real time and it's not been that long. But when history goes on and we look back 10, 15 years and we our kids hear about this, they're going to see why what Tony Khan has created is important, because it really created a challenger brand to WWE that has a financial booking, has an airtime on cable television, that's able to get on big market, arenas and stuff like that. We haven't had that. No offense to the promotions out internationally, but that's internationally. We're talking about the States. Ring of Honor was not that. TNA was not that either. We need AEW because it creates good product and it becomes a legitimate alternative. And also it allows these professional wrestlers who didn't want to be in the WWE, might I add you, to have a fulfilling and successful career. There is a young man named Kyle Fletcher who just had an interview with the great CVV. And he asked him, well, you had an opportunity to sign with WWE. He flat out said, yeah, they were interested, but this is where I wanted to be. This is kind of what I like to do. And I'm happy to be here. And I want to be here for the rest of my career. You wouldn't have that back in the day, but we have that. And this is a guy who grew up loving The Miz, John Cena, all of that. Like, that is like an amazing outlet. So, yeah, I don't want them. This is a horrible idea.
It's like horrifying to me, and it's funny because we got a few comments here. We've got this one cracked me up. It's Luis. I'm just typing for her. I love that. So it is a manicure. We got our answer.
Well, I mean, both can also be true at the same time, but I tried.
Could have been Manny Petty. That's by the way, no, that's not on you, Angie. You made the call. You were like, well, if it's a pedicure, then she could. I'm just saying we did get it might be both.
Might be both.
The booking has been stale with the competition. AEW is going to gain a lot of ground on WWE from Fernando Zayas, and that's where I'm like, you think about the way like music works, and you've got pop music, you've got mainstream pop music, you've got hip hop, punk rock, all of the different genres of music. And sometimes though, like when Blink 182 does a tour, then suddenly the niche is at the top. They're the cool kids on the block, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way when it comes to the AEW WWE thing, that's how they have to strike. They have to be patient, and then they have to do the best they can, and that's what they are working with. They're going against a very established brand. The part that is fascinating to me is that, and we talk about tribalism all the time on this show, on many shows, and in wrestling in general, but I've never understood like the fear of AEW from WWE fans. Like I don't get that actually. And I'm a fan of both. I love both products. And I think both are necessary for the industry. I think it drives professional wrestling at the end of the day. And so in my eyes, I've never understood though the fear of like your team is the 96 Chicago Bulls. Like, who are you afraid of? Like, it seems like punching down every single time you hear something like this. Angie, I want to get your thoughts on it too, because we've talked a little bit about the WWE versus AEW stuff, but I mean, could you imagine what the industry that we talk about would look like with AEW under the WWE banner?
Rant incoming. Absolutely not. We can't have this because we don't need for something like that to happen. Healthy competition is necessary. Healthy competition between brands is necessary. Healthy competition between promotions is what's necessary, because of the fact that that's what actually pushes companies to actually want to do the one up on each other. Like, heck, we all live for it. What we don't need is a ECW scenario or a WCW scenario where it winds up to where AEW winds up being the shadow parts of WWE. We don't need that. It's not necessary. And quite frankly, AEW is doing wonderful as that competition, making it to where WWE has to get better, has to make sure that they stay relevant. Sure, they bring in a lot of people as it is, but because of the fact that that competition is there, it puts a fire under their butts to make sure that they go ahead and give us the proper stuff that we need. We need the better storylines. We need the better matches. We need to make sure that these guys are at their tip top shape and not basically going into absolute oblivion. Sorry.
100%.
So
Angie,
sorry.
I love it. You're spot on. You're spot on. I think we're all on the same page here. We've got Sayes even on the same page with, speaking of AEW versus WWE. WWE reminds me of that jealous boy or girlfriend that says they don't miss their ex, but then it's making a negative post about them every single time. Yep. I love that. And then
that's a great one.
Fernando, friend of the show, Coke needs Pepsi, McDonald's needs Wendy's, and Burger King. Yeah, 100% Gatorade and Powerade, vitamin water, all right. Competition drives industry.
Exactly.
And I think that's super important. But let's get on to the main event, the final letter of this afternoon. Shotty, if you want to grab that one for us.
Yes, the final letter of the day. Dear Santa, what do you want to talk about? Actually, I don't care, as I'm going to talk about arguing as for Christmas. What I want is the greatest champion of all time, Cody Rhodes, to become Homelander and turn heel in 2026. Sign Cody. So, Bud, you're
hang on. Nope. I need you to do me a production favor, Shad.
Huh?
I need you to put back up letter 1 for just 1 second. Okay, letter 4. Show it one more time. This is a setup. I've been set up. This is ridiculous. You read Blake Monroe, Ricky Saints,
Blake,
Ethan Page,
Ricky,
and Cody Rhodes. This is a setup. I have been set up by Santa Claus. This is ridiculous.
I didn't even caught on to that for some reason.
We read 4 letters. This is a setup. This is unbelievable.
Why
Ben?
is Blake Monroe worried about LA Knight winning the Rumble?
Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, they all wrote letters. This is.
Let's kick it off to you, man. What are your thoughts on Homelander Cody Rhodes?
He can do whatever he wants now. I'm just frustrated that I was absolutely bamboozled like this. This guy's always been Homelander, and we know it. The truth will come to light, as I always like to say when it comes to Mr. Cody Rhodes. Thanks a lot for sending in these ridiculous letters. I can't get enough of it. But it's
because he's so mad.
I'm just furious. I'm like, no, I can't believe. I can't even believe. I've been completely set up.
My side.
No wonder Ben said don't read them in advance.
He did say that.
Just savage.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Chat, did y'all know? Did y'all realize that with the names too? If somebody did, salute. It didn't click till you just told me to put them up.
When I saw the last name, I was like, no.
I was like, why is Cody writing his own letter?
No, he did that. All right, Cody, whatever. I read your stupid letter, or Shaw did. Thanks a lot for your submission.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I feel like we have been talking about this potential Homelander Cody Rhodes heel turn for quite a while now. I feel like ever since, he had the little heel tendency going in one match that he had last year. I think it was a Mania match or whatnot, or I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But Cody has shown signs of it more lately. I think he needs to go heel, and I'll be completely honest with you. I think Cody Rhodes as a babyface right now is as stale as he can ever be, and I don't care that he's getting the pops from his entrance. His entrance is amazing. Production is production, right? I don't care. The kids love him. Them kids they can love him as a heel, man. Sometimes you got to root for the bad guy. Ask John Cena this past year. But Cody just feels very motivating for me as a wrestling fan to see. And it's nothing against him. It's just I don't know what is left for him to do as this babyface. They don't have enough competitors, enough bad guys for him to try to overcome and defeat. He's already beat the top guy in Roman Reigns. After that, you kind of have to be the person that holds the torch and become the one that everyone's going to try to go and beat. But to me, he hasn't been that. It's not all his fault. It is booking with the whole Drew McIntyre feud stretching as long as it is. It is not his fault that the John Cena match and storyline was not hitting like it was supposed to hit. But it's kind of one of those things where like we've gone through all these different scenarios and situations with booking. He kind of just needs a little bit of something to flip, and him kind of being an anti-hero at this point going into 2026, I would like it. So Cody, I don't know what your last name is, but this Cody, I hope you are right and Santa Claus gets your present for you.
It's actually the only one that I'm rooting for too myself. I'd love to see Cody Rhodes as a heel, because then he'll finally tell the truth. He's always been one. But Angie, I want to get your thoughts as well. Shad, man, I feel attacked. I feel attacked. I'm kidding. No, but
best
I'm with
Christmas
you.
Day present ever.
I think the heel turn is the move at the end of the day. But Angie, I do have to ask you your thoughts as well.
Hey, that would be the greatest Christmas present ever, honestly. But I'm sorry. Oh man. Oh, that tickled me. I didn't even realize the names until you pointed them out too. Okay, so all right, seriousness. Cody turning heel. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it. We've already had a chance to see him be the not superhero Cody, but definitely that true hero Cody as it is. It's very true hero coded as in a way of being like he's always trying to do the right thing, the whole justice thing going on. Like it kind of feels like that. Almost like the idea of when we had Nikki Almost a Superhero, if anyone remembers that run with Nikki Cross. But just like the morale system and everything that Cody has already given us as a babyface. Now, I'm actually kind of wondering what Homelander Cody really would be like. We kind of got like really small snippets of what could possibly be if that ever happens. When it happens, I have a sneaking suspicion we might actually get it in 2026, because if they wind up going that route, imagine what they could really do with that. Like, don't make him full villain, make him that fallen hero with the chip on his shoulder, or like that fallen hero that's got nothing left to lose.
What I think you made perfect sense of that too, Angie. And I agree. I think the most difficult part about this is there's a lot of pressure because the Homelander reference has been made so often.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a creative piece in all of that, right? Yes, he kind of looks like him. The key with Homelander, right, though, is he thinks, you mentioned the moral aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
He believes he's on the moral high ground. You need me, right? And for Cody to execute a heel turn, I don't want him to suddenly go, I'm sick of you. I want him to still think he's the good guy. In all, if I'm being realistic. And that's a tough road to navigate, but if you do it perfectly, we know that can be electric because of Homelander. And that's sort of the irony of the situation, right? We know that if you nail that little honey spot of like, I believe that I'm better and more important in doing the right thing and that I'm a good person, but you're actually not, that's how you do Homelander Cody. right? He
Yeah.
still thinks I would love for him to be cutting borderline babyface promos and still getting booed, but he has to just do it exactly right. Where he's like, "Oh my gosh, so great to be back here," but then he just says things that you don't like either. It's going to be a difficult balance to strike, but I do actually believe, I'll admit it, hand up, I do believe Cody Rhodes is capable of doing this, and I think it could be one of the most electric heel turns and runs in recent memory, whether it's 2026, 2027, or in the future at some point. It is a stone that I do think needs to be turned over creatively with the WWE at least one time, because the other thing is you can go right back to being the biggest babyface in the world after you get done with that run. He can. I think he can, truthfully, absolutely. But at the end of the day, that will bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much, everybody that tuned in. I'm stoked to be back. Happy holidays. Enjoy time with your fam, all of that. We are on tap all week. We only take the one day off a year. So do remember Christmas Day. We will not be on. Check out all the old videos though, or more importantly, try to spend some time with fam or friends whoever, right? For sure.
Watch our videos. Who cares about your family?
Yeah, mostly binge watch our videos. That'd be awesome. That's a good point. And then, yes, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Fernando. Absolutely, to everybody, and all the holidays, everything. It's that time of year, and no doubt, we appreciate everybody so much. The anniversary episode on Christmas Eve on the 24th is going to be pretty electric. You're going to want to tune in for that, and that's going to be at the same time, same place as always. Of course, noon Pacific, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock in the UK, and that's 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. Shout out everybody that tuned in. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week, great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Whatever.
Peace.